Hey guys, so I have a brand new and extremely concerning update on the San Jose Animal Care Center. The page where there's information on what to do if you found an animal has changed. So in the past, if you found a severely injured animal or like an underaged animal that you were not able to care for yourself overnight, they had a partnership with this emergency vet in Campbell called Medvet. You were instructed to bring the animal there. Basically, Medvet would then either determine if the animal needed to be euthanized or stabilize them overnight before they could be transferred to the shelter in the morning. Well, surprise, surprise, this partnership seems to have gone away. Now, the new instructions say that you're supposed to call the non-emergency police line or like 911 if it's an emergency situation. So this doesn't make a lot of sense because I don't know if you're familiar with like Rocky's case, but this is a great example of police were called because an animal was being beaten by its owner. They came out and said, actually, we can't really do anything. That's more animal control's thing. And further, we don't know for a fact yet because there's been no communication with foster parents, but Medvet is previously where if your foster pet is sick or injured, especially on the weekend when there is no veterinary coverage at the shelter, you would be instructed to bring them there or overnight. Well, if this partnership has dissolved, what are you supposed to do? And why did they not communicate this to fosters? Also with animals at the shelter. So unless this has radically changed since I left in June, there is no veterinary staff overnight and there is no medical staff at all. So the staff overnight are just animal care attendants. So people like me, who my job was to feed bottle kittens, for example. Not equipped for medical emergencies, not equipped to have people bring in animals that are hurt, anything like that. This is deeply, deeply concerning. So there were no vets working on the weekend when I worked there up until June. I don't believe this has changed, but please correct me if I'm wrong. And there is no medical staffing of any kind overnight. So what is going to happen to these animals? This, I would say, is a huge, huge, huge concern. It was not communicated to the public. It was not communicated to volunteers or fosters. And frankly, it's pretty outrageous. So I will update as soon as I have more information. But I would say this is going to be one of the top concerns to bring up at that October 9th NSE meeting if you can make it, because this is just unacceptable. I also know during my time there, Medvet, so they're providing a service. They are not a shelter-run organization. They're not the city. They're like a private practice. They incur expenses for their staff, for medical treatment. The shelter was paying them multiple months late per their contract when I worked there. I was already aware of that. So honestly, I don't blame Medvet at all if it turns out they decided to say, we can't do this anymore because they're losing money. It's taking away from their ability to treat private patients. It's mind-boggling. And it's the shelter management staff make $200,000+ a year. Their salaries are still being paid on time, but essential things like medical care, we'd run out of kitten formula or trash bags. This is just unacceptable. It really just demonstrates that leadership have just completely lost sight of what is important and they need to be replaced. Thank you.